before we start the talk, how many of you have heard about the term called CDP, Customer Data Platform? It's a very little. Okay, thank you very much. Just let me introduce myself. My name is Kaz, and je suis japonais. I used to live in Bordeaux for like 1 year and learned some French for 2 years. That was 20 years ago, and I forgot everything. So please allow me to present in English today. I started this company, Treasure Data, 13 years ago. And my background was HPC, high performance computing. My professor, when I was a student, built the world's fastest supercomputer. And then that gave me an opportunity to handle large amount of compute. And also, not only that, handle large amount of data set, right? And I was 25, nothing to lose. So I moved from Japan to Silicon Valley, where I live right now, and started this company called Treasure Data. We provide the SaaS solution called CDP, Customer Data Platform. We're the leader competing against Salesforce and Adobe in this category. I think what's amazing about our solution is right now we have 8 billion people on the earth, 5 billion people are internet connected, and we actually manage 3 billion people's data inside our system. So the brands like Stellantis, AXA, Yum Brands, which has KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, AB InBev produces more than 60% of the beer. Universal Music, they manage a lot of musicians like Taylor Swift and Beatles. Obviously, Hilton is a hotel, right? So all these companies are using our product to manage customer data and then provide a better experience. So today, I'm going to talk about how AI and machine learning is gonna transform the customer experience in the next 5 years. So let's get into it. So first of all, when you talk about customer experience, there's a lot of consumer behavioral change happening right now. So for example, 60% of customer interactions are now happening in the digital world. We're working with the automotive company where before COVID, they go to dealerships 6 to 7 times on average to make a decision on the car. Now on average, it's 1.2 times. It's same for mortgages, insurance, and credit card. So a lot of consumers did a lot of research online, and they make a swift decision when you try it out. So that's the behavior we're in. There's also a lot of privacy law comes in, like GDPR, CCPA. So you have to manage customer data carefully, get some consent, and use that data. And then there's a lot of changes in the advertisement world where what is called third-party cookie, this is the ID to track consumers across web and mobile, is getting deprecated. So it's hard to know the customer right now. So because of those, this category of software called CDP, Customer Data Platform, gets emerged. So all of our customers like Hilton, Stellantis, and everyone, CRM is a little bit of traditional software to store something like names and attributes like email and phone number. But what we're doing is we're tracking trillions of behavioral information every single day, including not only transactions, but also the access to the website and mobile, and every single click and page views, and apply machine learning models to predict what's the next best action, what's the next product for those, right? And one of the case study I would like to introduce is the SMBC, which is the third largest bank in Japan. So traditionally, they had credit card division, bond, insurance, and banks, and it's such a big bank. So each division behaves almost like a different company line of businesses. They also have a lot of contract information, but no one knows this one particular customer has which product. And obviously, cross-sell, upsell, a huge opportunity for them to expand. So what we have done is we spent almost a year to collect all of the customer data across almost 250 systems into one place. We apply AI and machine learning models to unify all of customer data into the profile, and they actually use this profile for various purposes. Now, when I talk about customer data, I feel like this is one of the critical assets for the modern enterprise. We usually see a lot of marketing departments started using customer data, let's say better targeting, suppression, conversion API, so that you can optimize 20 to 30% of your advertisement spend. But at the same time, we're also seeing customer data can be used for boosting the sales in the retail or face-to-face, or customer contact center, or being compliant with GDPR, right? So what we're seeing is a lot of our customers is using customer data to transform the entire customer experience, and this is what we call connected customer experience. Now, last 10 years, we've been providing this software called CDP, and we've grown from almost 3-people company to 600-people company right now, but we still have a lot of way to go. When I talk with a lot of customers, what is interesting is even after CDP, launching the customer communication and then campaign takes almost 3 weeks to 3 months. It used to be 9 months to 6 months, so it's actually much better by having all of the customer data in a central place. But what's becoming more bottleneck is, so how do you make planning much easier, right? So you have to ask like all of the partners, like Accenture, Deloitte, or SI partner, to really figure out what's the best target and segment to target for. And then you have to create a lot of content. And then you have to create the delivery, which can be email, SMS, the best channel for the consumer. And then you have to report it back and then verify which channel was more efficient, right? So one of the things we're actually delivering as a product is, it turned out LLM is a huge use case for data insights, right? Right now, a lot of our customers, marketing departments specifically, is working with SIs and then data engineers, someone who knows SQL, to really dig into your customer data and figuring out, okay, I want to target someone who has visited website last 30 days but hasn't purchased the mortgages product, right? That requires a lot of data crunching. But we actually shipped this LLM-based AI agent so that you can ask, write segment via the natural languages, and we turn that into SQL, and then apply that SQL languages into our customer model so that you can visualize it in creating segments and also creating the journey for these customers. And we believe that we can democratize the use of customer data for someone who has a lot of creative ideas for marketings and communications and campaign. And we're really, really excited about this feature coming up. And the next one I want to touch on is the content. What we found out is by using something like CDP, you can do a lot of personalized communication by creating lots of segments. But the irony is, if you create 8 segments, 9 segments, 16 segments, just to have more personalized communication, you have to create a lot of content, right? Whether it's email content, SMS content. What we also found out is each channel needs a lot of variances, and also each customer has its own occasions, right? This is a slide I got from one of our customers, but basically one of our customers' CMO had 400 people, and 200 to 250 people are designer who's just creating lots of images and emails, right? And because there's a lot of exponential combination of content you have to generate as you personalize your messages. And I think, again, LLM is a huge use case for this. Sorry, this is a video I want to play, but let's see if this is working.
Here, right within the Audience
cool.
Studio.
So this is just an example of, this is the CDP. But what you can do is we actually built CDP inside our system. And then we allow LLM to generate the content for this specific audience, whether it's an email, whether it's titles or content inside the email, right? And one of the customers we're working with is we actually gave this tool to draft the email follow-up when they meet the customer after the first meeting, right? And then by comparing someone who doesn't have this LLM tool versus who have some LLM tool, we observe about 12% of increase of the amount of follow-up you can do for the one salespeople, right? So if you have like a 10,000 retail salespeople, you have almost like a 10 to 20% increase of the productivity, which increases revenue, obviously, or decrease the cost, right? And then I think ultimately, right now, the example I've seen and I've shown today is where machines gonna generate a lot of content, and then people's gonna do a little bit of checking. But if the self-driving car, like if the car is self-driving, marketing and communication and customer support could be self-driving too, right? So long story short, within next 5 to 10 years, we believe all of the consumer customer communication could be like maybe 80 to 90% automated. And then there's an image here, but 20 years ago, email marketing or marketing is about like splashing the email to everyone. And about like 20 years ago, that's becoming more micro-segmentation and personalization where we're doing it right now. But with the power of LLM, we can do a lot of personalization and then create the content inside CDP. And then over time, I think if someone, let's say like the marketer at L'Oreal or banks or CPG, automotive, anyone who has the idea of how you want your brand approach to your consumers can actually think about it and operate with the AI and decisioning system to drive the best customer experience over time. And we're developing a lot of software and AI feature and then providing that to a lot of enterprise customers. And by the way, this is just a 15 minutes talk, but we also have an annual flagship event called CDP World. We have a lot of customers from hospitality, financials, and banking, and insurance, all coming here to learn more about how customer data and AI will transform the future of consumer and customer experience. So I know it's a little far from Paris, but if you would love to learn more about how AI will change the customer experience, please come to the CDP World. So with that, thank you very much for the time, and have the rest of a nice day. Thank you.